Welcome to PC 667 Test and Measures as we review the scoring of the Neo-Pi-R, a personality test. Each of you will have already received the revised personality test, the test booklet. It is the instructions, of course, on the front page. One of the things it will ask you to do is to fill in the appropriate circles. Now, you will notice when you get to your actual score sheet, you don't have circles. We'll talk about that in just a minute. You will have a series of questions. For instance, I am not a worrier. In the directions, it will ask you to fill in the appropriate circle, like strongly disagree. On the actual score sheet, which we have here, you will notice the circles are gone. They're not there. But you can still write in strongly disagree and mark it. And so you can do all with 240 questions. Now, unlike the original test, this actual paper had a carbon backing so that the scoring sheet would be already marked. Because we're not doing that, you will have to then look at the second sheet. You will notice instead of strongly disagree, agree, strongly agree, you have a series of numbers. Now, this is important because this provides the actual scoring. So, for instance, on the first one, had you put strongly disagree, you would put circle 4. That's question 1, number 4. The first column is the question number. The second column is the score you would put down. So 4, and I would actually suggest that you go line by line. If you go all the way across the line, you will notice that you are now scoring a category known as N1, which is a score for anxiety. So you can total your score there and put it there. And you would do the same thing for every question. Question 2, 3, 4, 5. Notice that the questions go down, and once you get down to the bottom, you come back to the top, and it goes 31 down, 61 down, etc. But in terms of doing the scoring, it's easier to go line by line. Okay. The next trick is once you have these scores in, once you've added each category, you're going to want to transfer these numbers to the self-report scoring guide. Two things to note really fast on this. One is that there are two forms. One is a male form and the other is a female form. Make sure that you have the right form, otherwise you are scoring yourself against the wrong norm group. So we noticed already, for instance, if we said we counted the first line and came up with an N1 score of 12. So on my sheet over here, here's N1. I can write 12 here. You will also notice on below N1 is an E1. So it goes from A1, E1 is the next column, and you could put the number down there. Then it's O1, A1, sorry about the angle, and C1. So if you look at your scoring guide, it's A1, E1, O1, A1, C1, then N2, E2, O2, A2, C2, and then it starts over. So actually it does it 6 times. And if you notice on your scoring guide, you have that same pattern following N1, N2, N3, N4, N5, N6. Then you can actually add these together and have a total score for that category. The next thing you want to do is kind of turn this thing around sideways, and it provides you then a sense of where you score overall. You will notice the broad blue category here is an average score. This is high average. This is very low. So let's say for anxiety, we had placed here the number 12. So I can come down here and find 12 on my list. There it is. And 12 puts me in the average score pattern. So I can do with this with each of my categories listed above, then come down and put the score in and be able to draw a line chart of how my scoring pattern goes. So by a visual, you can kind of get a sense in each of the categories mentioned under the Neo-Pi-R how your scoring pattern is, whether you score high or low. Now, to help you interpret that, we also sent out an NEO-style graph. And this is a sample chart, so in one sense it's already scored. Let's look at style of character. You notice for this style of character, you're comparing agreeableness with conscientiousness. And on this person's score, they had an agreeableness score of 52 and a conscientious score of 65. It also tells you what axis. So the vertical axis that runs up and down, top of the page, bottom of the page, is agreeableness, and the horizontal, which goes across this way, is conscientiousness. So for this person, on conscientiousness, they scored a 65, and in agreeableness, they had a 52, so it's just above. That puts them in this top right quadrant. That's what you want to know, the quadrant, because over here is a description of a style of character for those who score in that quadrant. So all you have to do is compare your score. You can, if you want to, erase these, mark them out, put your score beside it, plot it on the graph, decide which one of the quadrants you lie on, and then it will give you a descriptor, depending on the quadrant, which one you are. So you have numbers of things to look at, like style of character, style of attitude, style of interest, style of impulse control, style of defense, and others, as on the back sheet, there are more of these. And each of these will help you determine your write-up and how it should look. Best of luck. If you have any questions, do feel free to ask.